Hey, everybody, welcome back for day 42 of 100 Days of Halloween. How are you? I hope you are all well, and I hope you enjoyed your weekend. And if it was a holiday weekend for you, I hope you enjoyed that as well. So, what am I doing for 100 Days of Halloween? Well, my friend and Yarny sis over at the Woolly Llama Shop, Ranee, had been discussing with several of us on a live. She was wanting to do a fall or Halloween themed blanket for the 100 Days of Halloween. And due to living in the South where the temperatures are not large blanket project friendly, she was wanting to do it in bite-sized pieces or 6-inch by 6-inch granny squares, one every day for the 100 days of Halloween, to make said Halloween slash fall slash summerween themed blanket. And each square would have its own like fall or Halloween theme, design, um, applique, motif, etc. And I thought it was a brilliant idea. I have been wanting to make a Halloween blanket for the last several years, just have been too busy with lifey stuff that I did not get the chance. So I was like, I'm just going to go full force, do it with her this year. I'm going to join in solidarity, and we can cheer each other on and keep each other motivated, etc. Because I thought it was a brilliant idea and a fun idea. So, Rainey is pretty structured with how she's doing her blanket. She had scoured the interwebs and compiled a very long list of different kinds of fall and Halloween themed squares, and each one correlates with a number to which she is drawing at random from the Jinxed Jack-o'-lantern of Joy. And if you haven't gone over there and seen Rainy yet and don't know what the Jinxed Jack-o'-lantern of Joy is, you really have to go over there and check out her content. And you will understand why, and why her blanket is turning out to be the blanket that Spiders built. I absolutely love her sense of humor. Yeah, she has pivoted so much, and yeah, you have got to go check her out. And we also have some other little Yarny sisters that are joining in a different capacity, not making a blanket, but Patricia over at Yarny Cat Crochet, she made an accessory project which is finished. Her video is linked in the description box. You can find that there. It is awesome and gave me inspiration for a project later on. I'm not sure I can do it by Halloween. That time will only tell because I have a lot of other stuff on my plate. But I absolutely love her project. It is, she did good. She did good. I was so excited to see it. And then we have Nova over at Nova Gnome Creations, who is making wearables for herself and some near and dear littles in her life for the fall and Halloween season. And I cannot wait to see those projects finished because I know they are all going to be super adorable when it's finished. And go check those ladies out if you haven't, their projects. Nova is dropping a video once a week, kind of as an update as to her progress, squares, etc. And I do believe she dropped one today. And then Patricia already dropped her video. I'm not sure if she's going to be making any other fall themed projects or not, because I know she has a lot of stuff on her plate as well. So, anyways, and we have some of you guys who have joined in. We haven't seen any pictures or updates yet. So I'm anxiously looking forward to those when the time comes, hopefully, and we will put those in our videos. So back to the squares. We are making 6-inch approximately by 6-inch fall or Halloween themes. And like I said, Rainy's more structured. She is providing you with a free it's either a blog written pattern or tutorial. I, on the other hand, am not so structured. I am doing mine more on inspiration as creativity strikes. Yeah, imagine that. Usually I'm pretty structured with what I'm doing. And this one I'm just totally, yeah, going out of my norm and freehanding so much. I have been freehanding a lot of things on my squares, but if there is a video tutorial or a written pattern on a blog post, I am including that in the running list for each group of 10 that we are working on in the description box as to where you can find that pattern if it's available. So we have completed blocks 1 through 10, 11 through 20, 21 through 30, 31 through 40, and now we are working on 41 through 50. Yes, already we are approaching the halfway point, guys. I am like, it is flying by so super fast. So for each group of 10, I am doing like an update short on those blocks and uploading it so that you can kind of see like a little review before I add them into my blanket, which I have already started joining them. And instead of doing it like I was going to, 10 across and 10 up and down in rows, because I would have to do a join, a join, a join. There was going to be so many ends, guys. I decided I was going to do mine in a C2C fashion. That way, each row, all I had to do was just do this. And I had one end on this end and one on the other, and everything in between, there's no ends. No ends. So I only, every time I add a row, I only have two ends. Two, where I start and where I finish. And I'm loving how it's coming out. And I will show you an update because we did get more squares added because we had just finished another group of 10 and I needed enough to do a complete section. I'm not adding them in until I have enough to do a complete section. And once I get to the point where I've got 10 across and 10 up and down, then we will start our decrease. Yes. And we are getting so close, so close. But so, okay. Uh, since we started yesterday with another group of 10, because we're working on 41 through 50, um, we we have been for the past week drawing squares at random out of my boo box of fate because I had so many blank squares or pattern squares already done up and they were sitting in a pile and all they needed some love to be put into the blanket. So I figured a fun way to do it would be throw them all in a box, draw them out at random through a little hole that I've cut in the top, and whatever block we draw out is what I work on for the following day. And I'm having you guys, whenever I draw it out, guess in the comment section what you think is going to go on that block. And it's been a lot of fun. There's been a lot of great ideas. I have been writing them down and I have started writing them on little slips of paper. And I'm going to be drawing some of those out at random, your guys' ideas, and adding them into the blanket here and there to pepper throughout to implement you guys into my blanket because I think it would be so much fun. And you guys have been having a lot of fun with me on this, with your guesses, and all of it's bringing me so much joy. And I think that's why I am absolutely loving this project so much because of all my yarny peeps that are working on their projects with me, even though we're not all the same, but we're doing it together. And you guys are having a lot of fun watching what we're doing, putting in your guesses. And so, yeah, I want to tie you guys in. So, day 41, since we don't have a whole long list to go through, um, so I think it was Sunday we drew out this square for yesterday, Monday, and it was one of the Sirdar spiral squares. And a lot of you were guessing, if I remember correctly, when we reviewed it yesterday, a lot of you were saying leave it blank or put something in the corner. And I chose to, you guys read my mind, leave it blank because I didn't want to cover up the design. It was so pretty. I liked how it came out. I just used the fluorescent orange and black, and it was the sparkly black, and just trimmed it out in the fluorescent, I think it's like gecko green. So we left her blank. And then yesterday, for the square today, we drew out It's like a very vibrant, I can't remember if it's fluorescent orange or it might be pumpkin orange. No, it's just a deep orange. Deep orange. And I cannot remember the yarn because I did them up in advance. So let's see what you guys' guesses were as to what we would put on the orange square. Seems like orange and purple have been speaking their mind and saying, you're going to pick me. Yeah. Um, so Patricia, she said, woohoo, I got one right. That was, she had said, leave the square blank yesterday. I have run out of orange guesses. A green zombie on orange would look good together, but I really have no clue. You have such a better imagination than me. Aw, thank you. But no, we all have good imaginations. I was I had to think about this one too because we had done so many orange. And then Lisa said, hi, Missy. Debbie Van Rensburg said, hi, Missy. A bottle of poison with a cork top would look good on the orange square. I agree. Because I think the one we did before was on green, maybe. I can't remember. Uh, Nova said, I don't know. I voted on yesterday's video. LOL. I forgot it wasn't today's by the end, I guess. Today I will guess Oogie Boogie again. And then Sam over at Memphis Makes, one of our other Yarny friends and sisses, said, hi, Missy. I'm guessing a cemetery. And my uncle actually texted me and he said, I want to say it was a tombstone as well. So there was two tombstone cemetery, Oogie Boogie, bottle of poison, and a green zombie. Well, what did we put on the orange square? And like I said, I had to think about this one. And I kind of pondered and I was thinking about some of the guesses you guys had been giving me. And there was one that kept coming up over and over and over. And so I was like, you know what? It's a deep orange background, almost like the sun is setting kind of thing. And I thought this one would go good with it. And I searched the interwebs, and a lot of the ideas that were popping up are paid patterns, and I didn't want to do paid. I couldn't find anything for free. I did find one, but I didn't want to do that one. So Missy freehanded yet again, and I actually worked on this till like 2 o'clock this morning, because I was trying to make it work. So w- one of the guesses that kept coming up from you guys was a haunted house. And I thought on this deep orange background, that would be pretty cool. Kind of like it's in the foreground of the setting sun. And so I did freehand. I just did a lot of like rectangles and triangle ish and a circle and then a free form. And so I did a haunted house, and there's a little moon with bats flying out, but it also looks like it's got a smirky grin. I noticed that after I got the bats put on there. And then I have a ghost coming out. Yes. So since you guys kept saying haunted house, haunted house, haunted house, it was stuck in my brain. And I thought that it was going to be super cool for this square. And that was what I did. I did y'all's haunted house. I know there was a lot of variations you guys were saying with the haunted house, but I went with just a basic haunted house with the bright yellow windows. And I put the little ghosty coming out the window and some little bats flying in front of the moon. And there we go. I hope you guys like it. All inspired by y'all. A bunch of you. I mean, a bunch of you have constantly put in there it almost every video, I think, or every other video, there is a guest for some type of haunted house. So I was like, we need a haunted house. We didn't have one yet. So we do now, and there we go. It almost looks like a little haunted gnome house, really. So it's got the little pudgy, yeah. It is giving me, yeah, it is giving me haunted house gnome vibes. So there we go. That is day 42. So let's see the update on the blanket, guys, before we draw another square at random. And I'm going to have to push back because now we are up to, is it 8 across and 8 up and down? I have to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, we have 8 up and down and 8 across. So we'll start off at the bottom, which is where we started. Right here, we started with the witchy hat, moved on to our ghost, our little skull, our pumpkin, our candy corn, our little kitty in the moonlight, our swirl, and then that pretty cool vibrant spiral right there. And then we moved on to row 2 the next time, and we added Frankie, our owl, our kitty in the sunset, our witch, Nomi witch, our candies, our scarecrow girl, and then we have our pumpkin spice, frappuccino, latte, whatever you want to put. And then our third row, we've got this cool spiral, square spiral, the Sirdar round spiral, a spider web, our cauldron, our black cat face, and then our poison apple. And then we've got a bat, the spider, one of those other cool brights squares, a celestial crescent moon, and our fall leaves. And then we've got this floor, I think it's called Red Heart Super Saver stripes in neons. And then our bottle of poison with a cork, and it was on green. I was right. And then our Nova skull and crossbones tutorial. It should be in the description box if I remember correctly. If not, I will try and remember to put it in. And then we have our Franken Ghosty right there. And then we've got our Jack the Pumpkin King, Sally the Pumpkin Queen, and we've got our frog or newt in a witch hat, the spell gone wrong square that I named. And then we've got our jack-o'-lantern. And then I added 0 right here because I thought it would be super cute with Jack and Sally right there. And then we have our spiral kitty right here on the green. So here we go. So we did add, and I don't know how far back I can go. It's getting harder to show this all in one piece, guys. So I am loving how this is turning out. It is coming out so cool. I was holding it up for Brian yesterday before he went to work, and he's like, wow. Because he hadn't seen it in a while. I think it was, I had only had like a couple rows on here. I love it. I love it. Rainey is such a brainy. Yes, Rainey, you are brainy. She is such a genius with coming up with this idea. Um, I am having, like I said, so much fun, and I am loving all the inspiration. I am loving the fact that so many of us are doing this project together, even though some of it is entirely different. And we are just enjoying the ride as we are doing it. And I cannot wait to add another row. But because I every time I add another square as I'm doing the rows, I get so excited. Because I just love how it's turning out. I just sit and look at it in awe. Um, It is just bringing me so much joy, guys. I can't even tell you. And I'm stitching it together with this slip stitch zigzag join. If y'all love making squares, but you hate putting them together, you are going to love this join. It is so super easy and it is so quick and it is such a time saver and it looks so pretty when you're putting it together and it doesn't puff up hardly at all. And um, I will be using it on pretty much every granny square that I ever make again, I think, because I like it that much. And it makes putting those blankets together. Yeah. Um, I am just so thankful that apparently Sam had saw it on one of Christine's posts over at Bella Uncinetto. And so Sam from Memphis Make shared it because she used it on a baby blanket project for her donations. And that was how I found out about it. And if you don't know Sam or Christina over at Bella Uncinetto, please go check them out as well. They are also some very talented and creative content creators. And I absolutely adore watching their videos and seeing the things that they're making. So, yeah, that is the square update and the blanket update. And so I guess what's left is to draw the next random square for day 43 and see what we're working with and have you guys put your guesses in the comment section. And I think tomorrow we might draw a one of your guys' ideas out of my jar. I have it out there because I've been writing on little pieces of paper to put in there to draw. Um, had I brought it in today, we might have done that. So tomorrow we'll draw at random one of you guys' ideas and implement it into the square we draw tomorrow. So everything is going to be like flying by the seat of our pants at that point. So let's draw today and see what we're going to get. Oh my gosh. Let's reach. Let's reach. Oh, oh, okay. So we have this square right here, however we want to put it. What do you guys think we should do? Should we leave it blank? Should we put something on it? I don't know. You'll have to come back tomorrow and see. And in the meantime, put your comment in the description box. I mean, comment section and let me know what your idea. What would you do with this square and implementing it into the blanket? So here's day 43 square. Let me know. And like I said, tomorrow we're going to draw at random from you guys' ideas that you guys have been putting in every day. And we'll draw another square at random. And hopefully what we draw will match up with the color of the square. This is going to get interesting. It could either be brilliant or it could be an epic fail, right, guys? So with that, I'm going to let you guys go. Oh, no, I'll do another smaller video. I'll do another smaller video for that to announce it. So, anyways, I'm going to let you guys go. I love you guys. Thank you for continuing to come back every single day to see what we are up to with this 100 Days of Halloween and all the other videos. And go check out my friends and Yarny sisters. And we will see you back tomorrow for day 43. Bye, guys. Love ya.